Hello everyone, me here. Time for the next update. And boy do I have a lot of things to show you. What do you think? Quite a few things have changed, or should I say the building now really looks like a building. But first, let's start with something else. The height of the courtyard platform. This used to be, I believe, 8 plates high, but I decided to make it basically to reduce the height because it turns out the height of the courtyard section here wasn't high enough. In order to keep the proportions of the building itself and this section here, I wanted to make it taller. But if I wanted to make it taller, then this had to increase too, and the only good way to do that was to decrease the height of the platform, which is fine. The only problem is that these stairs now are a bit, they're 3 levels more than before. Some models of the castle have no stairs here, or maybe there is 1 step, but some do. I think in some of the video games there is a staircase here, but it doesn't matter. It works for me, and it kind of makes it better, in my opinion, to have a few stairs. Now, are these steps a bit too many steps? Maybe, but it doesn't really bother me. I think it looks pretty good. Anyway, that way we managed to make this higher, and also once we create the roof here, it will be basically as it should be according to the pictures. Now, I will not show you much of the courtyard, as it's basically, I've just mapped it out, this little section, just so I can figure out how it would look and figure out the math and the way that the arches should be created. Basically, initially I wanted to make this section here using the standard arches in tan, but it didn't really work for me once I started building, so I decided to use these 1x3s and kind of create a similar shape as we see in the movies. It's not really identical, but it kind of resembles the same shape, so I think it would work fine. Also, I decided to use these dragons here. I think they're from the Ninjago sets, in gold to represent the gargoyles. I've seen some people use some owls or create random things from bricks, but again, as I've said before, I'm not really a big fan of that, mainly because I'm not really great at creating abstract shapes. But I think these would work. Couldn't really find them in tan, I believe, as far as I remember, and they could be found in dark bluish gray, maybe a few other colors, but I decided gold should be probably the best one, and probably I will just keep it as it is. Now, I will talk more about the courtyard and more about it and all the various things that I've kind of thought about before starting to build it. Once I kind of create most of it, now I've just made this little section here, and I'm waiting for some parts before I can basically create everything else around here. And I just hit something with my hand. Anyway, courtyard aside, let's talk about this here. Now, obviously, it's not really completely finished, but it took quite a bit of fine-tuning to get to this point, and it was making the roof was quite a bit of a challenge. Now, this tower here, I'm not really decided what to do with it. That's why it's kind of not really finished, and on the back side it's not closed. because I've not really decided whether it should stay here or not, or if it stays here, maybe it will not be exactly like this. I still have not made up my mind. Also, this clock here, I have a little idea of making it in a way that maybe there's some kind of additional circle going around it, maybe in light bluish gray or dark bluish gray, just to represent kind of like an outline of the clock, because this way it kind of looks a bit smaller maybe and misses something. I believe in the pictures I've seen there's like a few other elements here, but I haven't really decided whether I should do that or not. Now, the roof itself is a bit weird, but I wanted to make it solid. I thought about plates initially, but since this whole section gets separated, as you can see, yeah, I'm not gonna pull it all the way, but basically this and here, it's part of this section here, and the rest is a different module. I decided that there is no reason why this shouldn't be solid here. Plus, I really needed a way to kind of connect everything. Oh, these pillars, this pillar here, these here, these here, and these arches here, the 3 levels of kind of lot of bricks that were really falling apart all the time. And I really wanted to make this kind of sturdy fist-like shape here, and everything to be solid and kind of keeping itself together, and I'm really happy that this way kind of worked out. So another thing, let me just move a little bit here, was the doors. As you can see, I have changed the doors a little bit since last time. I think I did mention that I'll be adding an additional level to the door. So now we have 3 pairs of doors. So 2 doors and 2 on top and 2 more on top. And before we had them covered in plates all the way, but as I placed the 3rd row of doors, I found out that these 1x6 tiles couldn't really be connected properly, or at least not the same way as the 1st row connects to the 2nd row, and it kind of created this how should I say, gap difference compared to the first 2 pairs of doors, and I didn't really like that. So I decided, well, let's change the shape a little bit. So now this way, as you can see, there is like these 1x6 and 1x6, and then another gap, and then we have placing them like this vertically, and then we have another row, and then we have another one like this, and then 2 more horizontal lines. So this way it kind of, I think it looks better than before when it was all covered by plates. So yeah. Now another thing that I encountered as a difficulty, you know, these doors, they're they're these square-like rectangular shapes, and obviously the top side of the gates of the Great Hall, they're arched, you know, but these doors don't come in any arch variations. The arched doors, kind of like the inside doors of the Great Hall, they're completely different. Not to mention they don't come in this color, this reddish brown color. They come in brown or dark brown, plus they're thinner than these ones. So initially I thought about kind of placing 2 different pairs of doors on the very top, just so they are arched, but then that wasn't going to work out. I mean, the connectors are different, and the thickness of the doors is different, and then I decided to start exploring ways of kind of cheating, kind of creating the illusion that the doors are arched. So what did I do? Now, obviously with these arches here, I have hidden the top side of these doors, and when you look at it from afar, it looks like they're arched. Now, this created a problem, however, because these gates need to open outwards, right? So if these are to open outwards, then these arches would be in the way. So the doors either should open inwards, which is not good because first, it's not movie accurate, and second, there isn't really all that much space behind there, so it's not, like, not really a great idea. So I decided, well, let's make these arches, when the doors are closed, they will look fine, but when you want to open them, they can move with the doors. So see, I want to open the doors, and the arches will move too. Now, that's not an ideal solution, but it's the best one I have so far. Now, once I did that, I decided, well, now once the doors are open, I mean, I can open them all the way here, yeah, and now you see something else here. Now I'll get to that, why these things are hanging. When you want to close them, what happened was the doors kind of start closing, but these arches remain in this position, and you had to push them separately, and that was kind of stupid. I didn't like that, so I decided initially, well, why couldn't we get like the arches connected in a way to the doors, so when you push the doors to close them, you kind of get the arches behind them, and the arches close as well. Now, initially I had another set of bricks over here on the other side, so kind of the doors were in between this sandwich of bricks, but that didn't really work out very well. The doors were getting stuck in the bricks, and it kind of didn't work as a design. So instead, I placed these, I don't know, the kind of Technic bricks here, and I placed these Technic 1 by, what is it, 6? Yeah, 1 by 6. So because this is a decent enough connection, this is not going to come out easily, and this way it kind of presses the door, and if I want to close it, and then just takes the arches along with the door, and it gets closed. Now I will probably change it in so they're not in yellow, like something maybe in tan or in black, or maybe change the element. I believe there are these 1 by 3 or 1 by 4s, same looking piece that is a bit thicker too, might work a bit better than this. I'll explore various options, but this is basically the idea, and I think it works fine. I mean, you have to really try to kind of close the doors really quickly, or hit them in order for that connection to come out. So this way, these arches are connected, the doors open up, they can open all the way fully, because these columns here kind of restrict them, but as you can see, they open fully, almost 90 degrees, so that's fine. And as long as this is not in yellow, if it's in black or some other color, it won't stand out like this, so it won't be an issue. And if you want, you can easily close the doors again, and maybe you have to kind of give a little push here to the arches, but just it's a little slight push. And yeah, I think the final result is pretty good. Maybe a better idea will something like this gap here kind of bothers me. I have to look it up why this is going on. There we go. But yeah, I think it's pretty decent. I have changed these tops here to dark bluish gray from light bluish gray, and I decided to use these slightly arched backwards kind of roofs, but I still don't really like it too much because it doesn't really resemble the castle as it is. Still exploring various pieces to create these kind of taller roofs here, but I don't know. Anyway, other than that, I don't know, I kind of want to complain about how difficult changing this whole height of the platform was, mainly because this section here was built so heavily into the plates, and as you can remember, we had built everything other than basically the roof here, and inside it was full of bricks and everything was supporting, and I kind of placed this to the side and kind of took everything out and managed basically to replace these plates underneath without taking apart most of it, just to save some time basically. But still, it took a while, and once half of it fell apart in my hands, it was a nightmare really. But I think it was really worth it, because then the height of this would have been like up to here, I think, something like that. And then this archway was going to be too small, and I mean, it's still kind of smaller, but it works. I mean, there is enough space for a minifig to be here, and there will be like another head, kind of a space for one brick head, a minifig head, to be like up to the highest point of the archway. So it's good enough. Yeah, I mean, it was really a challenge, but I'm really glad that this whole part here is now kind of done. I've taken apart some of the towers here, because I'm going to remake them anyway, because we're putting those brown archways over there next time, and this is going to be taken apart. And I really wanted to make these towers here, so while I was making the roof, to everything to be, to kind of help me look into it, so I can make it look as best as I could make it. So yeah, I mean, it was real pleasure making this. I will look at it for the next few days and see if something starts bothering me, if I can improve something. It's usually what I do when I make progress on this, because it's I make something, and then a few days after, sometimes I get a new idea, or maybe just I decided I don't like something. So yeah. About these connections here, last time, I think was it the time before, I decided, as you can see here, you see this part here and there, it's missing, because it's nothing here, because it's in the way of the connections. I think I decided to kind of not put it back in. I think it doesn't take anything away from the model itself, and I don't really want to have like a hole here and here. This is kind of, I mean, it's not difficult to slide in, but it's not automatic. I mean, sometimes there is something kind of in the way, because there is a connection here you have to fit, there's one here you have to fit, and then obviously the sides have to match. And then if I make like another connections here, like another tight spot that it has to go through there, otherwise this one will go in, it kind of makes it too annoying. So not really needed, I don't think. Another thing that I wanted to say, I don't know if you care about that, but I've added some additional gargoyles. Now we have the full 5 here, and we have 4 out of the 7 over here. So we're almost like done with the gargoyles. I think soon I'll start thinking about placing some food on these tables and see if maybe we can place some minifigs, but that's like the minifigs is the last thing I want to do, really. Yeah. Now, what I'm thinking, like this part here, like I know it looks a bit flaky, a bit flimsy. I'm thinking about connecting part of it to these towers so it doesn't kind of stay like this. It will be more sturdy. Also, I'll rebuild it. I mean, I only made it like this just to get an idea of the height, get an idea how it will look based to this side here, how tall this tower will be. I mean, obviously this, as I said, may change, but anyway, I will rebuild it just so it's not plain tan. I'll put some the bricks there or whatever just to make it prettier. Now we want to make the back side kind of the same height probably, and then once we lift that, we'll start thinking about the roof. The next pieces that I'm waiting that should arrive very soon. Once we place these brown arches here to support, they will come underneath here. We will place the same towers over here, and then we'll figure out how the roof will be. I have a few ideas, but I have a feeling that it will not work exactly as I'm imagining it. So, but anyway, it will be interesting to see how it will pan out. I'm really excited about this courtyard. I want to talk about a little bit more, and I did say that I don't want to focus on it right now because it's basically just this row here that I've made, but I've really focused on the math. So how much space one of these windows will take, how many I can fit, how what's the difference here, so how long the corridor will be, mirroring here, how much space there is here, and how it will look on the outside. And I think I really do believe that it will look really nice once I do build it. I'm really excited to do it because well, I thought I had really a lot of these. As you can see, I've placed these here, the ones that I have remaining that are not in use. That I had so many of these 1x3 archways, but turns out once I started building here that I didn't have all that many. But yeah, it was a real fun once I figured it out, once I decided how it's gonna be. It's so much fun to build these kind of shapes. At least for me, it's fun. I mean, I know for some people it's really repetitive to build basically the same thing again and again, but for me it's really relaxing because making this kind of model, I mean, it is a lot of fun and it is engaging, but sometimes it's so taxing on the brain, kind of to keep thinking and to calculate stuff and imagine it, go back, rebuild it, take it apart. As you know, I'm not using any kind of software because I don't know, I'm not really a fan of it. I'm spending all my time on the computer during work as it is, and I'm kind of using Lego to just relax, and I don't really want to spend hours upon hours looking at the software and designing in a Lego software building program. So yeah, part of the fun for me is to build on hand, and I don't mind taking it apart multiple times. If you remember the towers, I've taken them apart so many times, and I'm still gonna take them apart again, hopefully for the last time, to build to place the brown archways. But anyway, I don't mind, and to make these kind of repetitive models really is a pleasure for me. I really don't mind, and I'm really looking forward to it. I can relax, just put some music on, some smooth jazz, or maybe a movie, and just listen to it and build and have fun and chill, you know. So yeah, I'm really excited to show you this, and hopefully next time we can talk more about the courtyard, and I can talk to you about the things that I have done, the decisions that I've made to change some of the things, and other problems. One thing that I do also want to do is kind of figure out how it will be here, how much distance there will be between the grand staircase and the grey hall. once we figure that out, we can decide how big this building here, I've not forgotten about you, this building here, how big it will be, and what space we'll have to work with. So we have to shrink this to fit here, and obviously to fit up to the end of this archway, because yeah, this is too big. I mean, it looked nice when I built it, and I was really excited about it, but now it needs to change. But yeah, we will build this site here, figure out how much space we have, and maybe I will even have to figure out the kind of the shape, the idea behind the grand staircase, how big it will be, maybe an idea of how to connect it, and then I can kind of fill this building in, because it would be a shame to rebuild it again. I think it will be the third time I'll be rebuilding it. Yeah. And then have to do it a fourth time. Not really something I want to do. I'm also thinking about moving Filch's office. I know some people, most people, make it in this little kind of building here. But when you look at it, when you kind of read it about it on the internet, Filch's office's location isn't really fixed anywhere. I can see why most people put it there, but it will be, I don't know. I think in the books, kind of vaguely, it's described that it's kind of in the buildings behind the Great Hall, like towards the smaller bridge on the other side. But it's not really specified where it is, so I'm kind of feeling that I can put it wherever I want. Anyway, I'm done rambling. I can talk about this for probably another half an hour, but it's no point. So I hope this was interesting to you. I hope you like what I've done, the way it looks. I know it's not perfect, but part of the fun is to make it as perfect as it can be over time. Rome wasn't built overnight, so never being satisfied is part of the fun for me, and it's something good in this situation, because usually it kind of makes me frustrated, but not with this. This is kind of, like I say, something that keeps on giving and keeps me engaged, and it's still interesting for me. So I hope it will not fade anytime soon. So yeah, thank you for watching. Please share your thoughts and critiques, if any, and I will see you next time. Thank you for your attention. Bye.